Good morning. It's October 31st, 2019. This is Deb Helfrich, and I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We've been talking about well-being philosophy and evolutionary logic and sort of some of the foundational methodology of my work. And today, it's Halloween, so we're going to go all full red-headed She-Hulk persona. You see, there's two facets of the work, which is really the logic bit, the well-being philosophy, that is very thoroughly analyzed creatively into a way to look at how I get to demand we all focus on creating a life-centric world. All nuggets of life, from single-cell amoeba up to humans, matter. This is the key. We can't just keep trying to find new categories of things to make hashtags that matter. All life. You want it better for yourself, for your children, for the people you love. Start loving all life. You see, there's a couple fables that really explain who I am, what I went through, and what I'm going to be doing now. At the level of really the fable, I spent 50 years being in a polar bear body, living a polar bear life. And then I woke up a few days after 50 and realized I was in process metamorphizing into a giraffe who's going to get to stroll the African savanna, go right into the melee of life and death and evolution, and figure out how those historical ancestral dramas can propel us today through seriously the worst crisis humanity's ever faced, 2020. It's a pivotal year, and quite frankly, the only thing I can do is to get really, really green with love. Here's the deal. It took gamma radiation to make Bruce Banner really, really, really upset. And I love the TV version with Bill Bixby. That was such a cerebral TV show for the 70s. And for my young mind, quite frankly, the only thing that sticks out, the rest of it was not custom tailored to this person. But Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno, I gotta tell you what, there is something about the whole concept of how when something extraordinary happens to a human, and again, they put his whole story in that it was really, really bad. But think about all the good Bill Bixby went around the country doing as he tried to interact with experts to figure out how to solve this gamma radiation overdose he'd gotten himself into. The amount of good he did in the world, simply from being that person on that journey, knowing that, of course, he was doing it for himself, but also so nobody else ever had to be so hawkish, to get so triggered at injustice. Well, it's turned out that some of this tale of my own has to do not with gamma radiation, but with gamma brainwaves. Now, I'm not going to go into the science. You've got Google. And I'm going to say that's really not going to help you that much. Gamma brainwaves are very ignored because we put people into scientific methodologies to study things, and then we really don't know what any of the anomalies are. And so we're very, very, very obsessed with looking at brainwaves from beta, alpha, theta, delta. We like that downward progression of brainwaves. That's the whole blind spot of the measurement men of science and research right now about our brains and our lives. So we're taking a lot of time, we're studying monks, really crucial. I do not want to in any way, shape, or form say that the research and what monks prove is not awesome stuff about what human possibilities we might have that are hidden within cubicle captivity. You see, everything we know from the dog whisperer about wolves is completely okay, I'm going to stay away from the word I want to use and say is completely about um, extrapolated fantasies based on the behavior of domesticated wolves where they're not related and they're forced in captivity to figure out how to interact. Okay, it gets a little primal in those kind of situations. But actual natural wolf packs are very collaborative, very supportive. Um, the alpha does not physically impose their will on other wolves, except in very drastic situations that almost would always have to do with humans. Okay? We are the observers and the creators of all this mayhem. We then go, ah, that all is how it works. No, we're observing and creating these extra dynamics because we don't know how to show up and be loving. So, in my case, pivoting the Incredible Hulk into the Amazing She-Hulk, or however, the Astounding She-Hulk of love. I kind of like astounding better. I want to change things. I want to unite anger and love. Because righteous anger is very important right now. So much is wrong that if you don't get angry intellectually with a theorem about what's wrong and how to fix it, solutioning has to come into this. You can't just go around being all hawkish, right? You must have some sort of cause that you're looking to improve, that you can come back on and say, well, I've gotten angry at the detention camps, the border situation, the gerrymandering, whatever it is that's going on in this world. If you're constantly thinking about how do situations give you fables, or using a character from screen time like the Incredible Hulk to build a context within where you can share your own message, you're learning how to take a raw emotion like anger and filter it through a bit of philosophy that then gives you a way to channel the anger as you're working with people who aren't seeing things very clearly. You can process the emotion, but do it through a persona, a character, just like on Halloween, where your message comes through fully embodied with all of its extra special dimensions that communicate not just to the mind, but to the whole body about how serious I am in being playful about the qualities of anger that must be expressed in 2020 if we're going to fix any of this chaos. All right, happy Halloween. Be well, Deb.